Welcome back to another video discussing the prospects of a Trump recovery of the China virus. Again, this is a pretty big deal surrounding him, of course, optically coming back, wearing that stupid mask, and we're getting back into the role of president. So-called Donald Trump has been facing pretty fierce opposition from Joe Biden, and by Joe Biden I mean the liberal establishment fake news media, about as to whether or not he is able to handle the COVID virus. But as you can see, he's back, and people said, well, he doesn't care because he doesn't have COVID. Well, now that excuse is gone. When you talk about the amount of sensitivity he has on the issue, well, of course, you can't criticize him because he's literally had it. And when you see a guy who is 74 years old and fat, you can obviously notice that he's completely fine with no symptoms apparently, or at least very mild ones. And the only real argument you can make against him is that he had really good medical care, which he really didn't need. He was going to survive anyway. And Trump being strong, in the face of it is a good look, and honestly will suffice for him to be seen as a warrior against the pandemic. And as you can see him with the tan back on, he looks normal. He looks just as, he looked like he did the day before, or, before he had the virus. And as you can see, he is triumphant. I think this will improve his numbers in RCP, and by that I mean the aggregates will look better. I do think that this massive recovery will enable him to win the election, believe it or not. Yeah, he did miss like 3 political rallies, but that's not a big deal. It's not going to decide the election in all likelihood, and I also think that it could help him statistically and in the polls. And as you can see, Joe Biden has pulled out negative ads for up until like the second debate, so we've had a 2-week grace period in terms of negative ads for the most part, which is basically Biden shooting him in the foot. As you can see, all the press is on Donald Trump, not on Joe Biden, because Sleepy Joe does rallies all the time and nobody cares, so you see him saluting. Of course, he is doing great. As you can see right here, his approval rating is at 42.5 with the virus, so he's at a decent deficit here. And all he needs to do is to get it around 46 or 50 to basically nullify the coronavirus as a top issue. The importance of it has really gone down over time. And as you can see, he was peaking in approval in March and April, and then all of a sudden you see the disparity because of his lack of handling of COVID, according to the retards in the media that are perpetrating lies about it. And right now, as you can see, the amount of cases has more or less steadied, okay? And as you can see in America, the deaths have peaked in, let's say, May, but have gone really down and are more or less flat. And we're looking at like high hundreds, 1,000 flat deaths, for the last couple months. So it's not going to get any better or worse. It's going to slowly just die off, basically. As you can see, this isn't a big deal. Nothing to be scared of. Donald Trump says don't be afraid of COVID, and he's completely right. Trump's approval is higher than the favorable. I see these numbers going up, and yes, this should help him in the battleground states. This will basically give him cover. Him having COVID himself will give him cover for why he's incompetent on COVID by the perception by the normies. So again, this is good. I think this COVID. Trump getting COVID basically increased his odds by 5%, because it basically allows Biden to shoot himself in the foot by getting rid of negative ads for 2 weeks. And one of the biggest pivotal points of the election. But not only that, but we have Trump covering his ass on COVID, which is a good thing, because that's one of the losing points he had, along with the economy, which is coming back into shape. So as you can see right now, the battleground states, the RCP polling is completely ass anyways. Do not worry about this. He's going to win big, huge, and don't worry about it. Trust the plan in terms of Trump winning the election. COVID is a dying issue. Nobody really cares anymore. It's boring. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you agree with me, comment down below. Do you think that this helps Trump's election prospects? I really do think it does. Okay? Just like Bill Clinton said, I can feel your pain. That's what he literally can say that. That town hall, if he does the debate town hall style, will go very well in regards to COVID if Trump gets questions about it. And as long as he doesn't fumble this next couple of weeks, I do think he can definitely win the election. Anyways, guys, I'm really wrapping it up now. Goodbye.